What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why doing less is actually going to get you more in the long run. Before we get into that, my name's Keith. I made this channel to help men create their ideal lives through self-mastery. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. So, why is it that actually it's so paradoxical, but when you do less, you oftentimes get more? We have an obsession in the Western world with being busy, with doing busy work. If somebody comes up to you and they ask you, what are you doing? And you say nothing, they look at you like you are a menace to society. You could literally say anything else. You could say, I'm playing video games, I'm jerking off, like it doesn't matter. As long as you tell them you're doing something, they look at you like you're like a human being. If you say nothing, they just look at you like something's wrong with you, okay? Our society does not value the idea of doing nothing. They value and they promote doing things, being constantly involved in something, right? We don't have that. I think it's part of the reason people are so stressed out, but that's for another video. But you can see from this why people think that we have this thing in our society where we're convinced that the amount of time we spend on something equals the amount of reward we get. We think that effort and energy equal worthiness to getting what we want. But most of the time, that's just not true. One of the reasons this happens also is like most people, their first job is an hourly job. So we immediately get trained on the idea that the amount of time we spend on something is in direct proportion to the amount of money we earn. And it works in an hourly job, but it doesn't work in basically any other part of your life. I'll give you an example from my life. When I was doing fitness coaching, I was doing it through Instagram, and I spent so much time, like hours and hours and hours, building out this content plan for my Instagram that I was going to promote all these content. I had these little cute graphics and videos set up, and I was spending so much energy trying to get this thing to look a certain way so that I could have the right image on my Instagram account so I could sell my coaching program. So what happened was I did all this energy. First of all, I did it before I actually tried to sell the program. I tried to do all this, which is also a flaw because you're doing a lot of work that's not directly in relation to your result before you even go to try and get the result. And that's not very smart in the long run. So anyways, I'm making all this content, produce it. I spent so much time, and I made like $0 basically doing this. It ended up being a total waste of my time for me to put in all of this energy for this. And it was because I wasn't focused on the right thing. I was focused on this like icing on the cake type of thing, having a really nice content plan, but I wasn't focused on the actual objective that I was trying to get at, which was getting clients to pay me for my coaching services. And when you do that, and when you get really honed in on what it is specifically that you're trying to accomplish, you realize there's only maybe one or two things you actually need to do to get to it, and most of it is fluff on the outside of it. I think YouTubers are a great example of this. I don't know about you. You can leave a comment and let me know if you agree or disagree with this, but I think a lot of these YouTubers, they get a certain number of subscribers and all of a sudden they think they need like drone footage and multiple camera angles and studio quality boom mics and all this crazy stuff going on and cutouts and 2-minute intros and shit. And I just think personally, most people just want the information. They clicked on your video for the information, not for how dope your camera angles are. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, unless you're running like specifically a vlog style YouTube channel, that type of stuff is really overrated, I think. But that's an example of people doing all this stuff that makes them feel like they're doing something really important and special, but it's really not helping them with their bottom line most of the time. Think about Joe Rogan podcast. He gets millions and millions of views on YouTube alone, and he's got 2 camera angles, one for him, one for his guest. The quality's not even that great, and they sit there and they talk for 3 hours. There's nothing crazy going on there, and that's what people are watching. But then you got these guys with like 100,000 subscribers who think they need to drop all this coin on crazy gear and stuff, and it's just not that effective. The way you need to look at this is you need to be precise with what actually will help you get your end result, okay? So that requires clarity around the end result, and this is where I talked about being busy is a perverse form of laziness, because if you're crazy busy with something, oftentimes it means, I mean, if you're a CEO or something like that and you've got a lot on your plate, obviously that's different, but most people, if you're really busy, it means you haven't gotten clear on exactly what you're trying to accomplish and the exact steps that will get you there, okay? So, I mean, another example of this is with health. A lot of people people on New Year's Day for their New Year's resolution, they're going to lose weight. So they go to the supplement store and they drop $200 on fat burners and protein powders and all this stuff that basically just collects dust in their pantry. And then they don't do the actual thing that's going to get them the result, which is go to the gym or eat right. They do all the nice stuff on the outside that makes them feel like they're doing a lot of things. Guys will do this with girls too. They'll pay for Tinder Gold, or they'll spend hours swiping on the phone, or they'll watch YouTube videos on how to get girls, but they won't actually go talk to the girl. They'll spend all this energy on this other stuff that makes them feel like they're doing something, so they get this feeling like I'm really accomplishing something, but they never move forward. And the funny thing is, if they just did what would actually work, which is just go up to the girl and ask her for her phone number, it would take 2 minutes, right? And it's done. You cut out all this other stuff. And that's what I'm saying. If you're really busy on a subject, most of the time it's because you haven't gotten clear on what it is you're trying to accomplish and how to get there. Business is another one with this. I already gave you my example from business, but everybody in the business world, if you run a business, you're constantly getting hit up with people trying to sell you these frivolous little things to make your business really stand out. But most of the time, it's just the meat and the potatoes of the thing that actually gets you the result. And when you're a really big company, if you want to do the thing to stand out, that's fine. But posting a crap ton of high quality content on Instagram or something like that that's not paying your bills, that's a bad idea if you're just starting out, right? You got to focus on, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs was this idea that the more your basic needs are taken care of, the more likely a human is to be concerned with more altruistic things. Like, for example, there's a direct correlation between the amount of money you earn and your concern for climate change. Because if you've got enough money to put food on the table and pay your bills, you're a lot more likely to care about the climate. Whereas if you're starving, your primary focus is, I want to put food on the table. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs would say, if you can breathe and eat and all these things, you can start to care about more important things. So your business, what are your hierarchy of needs? All right, well, we need customers, we need revenue. So what are the things that are going to get us that? Then we'll deal with the fluffy stuff on top, the content creation and all this other funky stuff, really expensive logo designs and all this other crazy boom mics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the things that actually will get you results. Really hone in on what it is you want and the precise steps that get you there, and ask yourself if the actions you're taking, is this directly resulting in the result I want? You can think of a sniper, for example. A sniper in the military, when they go out into combat, they have to pick a specific area. Them and their spotter will go somewhere, and it'll be half a mile out from the battlefield, something like that. And they'll camp out at that area for a couple days while the battle is going on. And the thing is, if the sniper shoots a shot and he misses the target, if he does that, maybe he gets away with it once. But if he does it twice or 3 times, he misses his target, the enemies are going to know where he's at, and they're going to go over there, and now their cover's been blown and they have to go hide somewhere else. So the sniper might hang out at the same spot for 36 hours and only take 4 shots, but they're 4 kill shots. He gets the result every time. It's that precision, right? Because if you keep missing, you're going to lose your motivation. You're going to use all this energy making yourself think you're feeling good and accomplishing something, but you're just going to get burnt out, and you're not going to have a complete life because you're just being lazy mentally on what it is you actually want to accomplish. But guys, that's all I got for this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up so I can reach more guys with my message. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss tomorrow's video, and I'll talk soon.